Hey folks, Jeff S, aka True Knowledge, here to moderate the Acolyte, episode 8, here on the MCU'S YouTube channel podcast. Sorry about our delay. I know we're live streaming a little bit later than we usually do. That's all on me. The team was ready to rock and roll, and I came in a little bit late, but we're here. Everybody's ready to rock and roll. So thank you for being here, Imran, Rathakhan, Jason, Cyberneticshark, appreciate you. We're missing a person or two, but that's okay. We've been missing. It seems like every episode of this show, I've had people drop off. So what a shock! We had the guy that didn't like Acolyte drop off, and the guy that didn't like the Acolyte. That was going to be interesting. I was really looking forward to that. The guy that didn't like it. I'm sorry, but it's good to see you guys. And I'll start right off the bat with a very simple question, and I'll go to you, Jason, since you're back here from taking the show off or whatever.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts going into episode 8? I know we're wrapping this up and we're trying to get this fucking show behind us, but what were your thoughts? Did you have any hope for episode 8 coming off?
Yeah, not really, and I think that's why I enjoyed it a little bit more than the rest of the series. When I watched it, I think I might have been a little intoxicated because I was like, at the end, I'm like, dude, that's a 9.5 out of 10. That is fantastic. And but I rewatched it today. Yeah. So if everything else was like a 3, this might be a 5.5. But yeah, I had no expectations going in, and I think that's why I enjoyed it as much as I did.
Okay, same question to you, Imran.
Well, I think Jason just found the key to watching this show. You got to be a little bit intoxicated, and you'll just have a merry old time.
Yes,
but look,
indeed.
After that last episode, I'm like, all right, you wasted 2 episodes with the same damn story. I get what's going on. It cleared up some things. It made other things confusing. And I was like, there's no way they're wrapping this up in one more episode. I can't see that happening. But let's see what happens. And it is marginally better than the last episode, but there's a low bar.
Okay, Cyberneticshark.
No expectations whatsoever going into this. I really had no desire to even watch it. It was because of how bad the series has been. So yeah, no expectations. Just went in, watched it to see what the hell they were going to do. It's pretty much my thought process on how it went.
I didn't want to watch it either. To be honest with you, I did not want to watch it.
But at this point, it's almost out of obligation, right? We have invested this far in. How you not going to watch the end despite any kind of feelings?
Here you are, Rathakhan. You're right. You're back in time perfectly. What, Rathakhan? Did you have any final thoughts going into the finale about maybe the finale might be decent or anything?
I mean, I try my best to be optimistic about the show, but going to the ending, it's kind of like as if you have to do homework. You have to do math homework. Like, you just hate that feeling. That's literally how I felt about coming into the finale of The Acolyte.
It's like having to do math homework.
Yeah.
What kind of math, though? Algebra, calculus. Easy geometry.
Ooh.
Calculus. Okay, that's math.
It's like getting bad head. You don't even look forward to it. It sucks. It's like shitty. You already know it's going to be shitty before you even get it. So, it's kind of akin to that, I guess, Jason. Rathakhan, excuse me. So, all right. So, the Acolyte is the actual episode 8 title is The Acolyte. It starts off with Soul. It starts off with Osha wearing the stupid Dark Swole mask. The Smilo Ren mask or whatever. The Sith mask, and I guess she can't breathe or some shit, and she has some kind of visions of the future or some shit, and I don't know, Dark Swole's eyes turn black or whatever. I don't know what the fuck was going on with all that shit. But you guys are more than welcome to illuminate your thoughts on this, I guess. Rathacon, you can start. What are your thoughts on that stupid initial scene?
With the Darth Swole?
Darth Swole, yeah, where Osha was the mask.
Chimere.
Oh, Plaqueis, right?
No, Chimere.
Chimere. Oh,
Yeah,
that
he's-
guy.
Filipino Ezra Miller, you know.
Where Osha wears a mask.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And she sees the future and all this shit.
This is what I said in the previous review. She is stupid for wearing that mask, knowing that you're in this, enemy's house, and you're gonna be playing with his witchcraft, and you think you can handle it when this guy's literally a lot older than you, a lot more mature than you. Like, Habibi, smart.
Habibi, yalla.
You get what I mean, especially you, Imran. I think you understand when I'm like,
I believe the word you're looking for
is she an adult or a kid at this point? I think she's a kid.
Yeah.
Look, I'd say it's whole stupid. Okay, that's all.
There you go. Darth Leach, what do you think about Darth Swole's mask situation?
I'm probably the only person who thinks it actually looks kind of cool.
It is cool. It is cool looking.
Yeah, but yeah, it was kind of like as soon as she put it on, you knew, that the acolytes were changing. So it, it wasn't May anymore. It was Osha. I didn't like the fact that his eyes went black and it was just like being on the witch's planet when the Jedi were being taken over. But then I'm like, well, wait, duh, she is one of the witches in a roundabout way. So it kind of makes sense. But I know people are going to have issues with that, but whatever. So she kind of wasn't using the Force, but she was channeling whatever that black witch magic she has. It's like I kind of thought it was decent. I think it was an eye opener for Chimere to go, oh shit, man, she is friggin' powerful. I might have my hands full with this one. So it was decent.
All right, Cyberneticshark.
Boring, stupid. The fucking retardest thing I've ever seen. When his eyes went fucking black, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, I mean, he's being possessed. Like, what's going on with him? I had this kind of the same reaction as you, Jeff. Like, what the hell is going on here?
It costs $20 million every time they do those black eyes.
Exactly. Right. And I was just like, I'm like, what is going on here? And she acting like she can't breathe in it and all this kind of. I'm just like, what was the whole purpose of that? I don't feel it really did anything. And I was like, I think this is pointless. And just like Wrath said, like, Osha, you're stupid for putting that damn mask on. Once again, stupid. So yeah, pretty much I thought that whole beginning sequence was just pointless. Really, all it was doing was showing us what they showed us, that very last scene in episode 6, showing what happened, basically. So it was kind of just a reminiscing, in that aspect. So yeah, I just thought it was a pointless scene.
What do you think, Imran?
I mean, thinking about it now, I guess it's kind of interesting that it was like the catalyst that starts this whole thing, because their switch, it just seems so quick and abrupt. Like this whole show, just people's motivations just flip like every episode. So that being the catalyst, and the fact that, so to your point, Jason, it's confusing. Yes. She does the same thing her mom does. Now, is that the Force? Is that the thread? Is that witch powers? It's unclear. They don't want to explain it. So I was a little confused. It's also convenient. I like the foreshadowing that she sees somebody force choking Saul and she thinks it's May. Right. And they're the same person now, so it's even more confusing. Right. By the way, just like the whole series, like it's confusing to talk about these two characters, because everybody's got, wait, was it May? Is it Osha? Is it May? At some point, like, you couldn't just call them Moesha at this point, maybe just combine them and would put out a show called Moesha. because they're one person.
Would they be copying from Moesha?
Yeah, well, yeah, but it would be Moesha in Star Wars. What if Moesha?
It'd be Mayosha.
Mayosha.
Maybe they can bring back the actress from Moesha so we can get rid
Yeah,
of
Brandy.
Amanda Splunberg.
Wasn't that Brandy? Just get Brandy. What's she doing? She's not doing
That's
that.
right.
Just get Brandy.
Yeah. Just get Brandy and do the digital effects to make her look youthful or whatever.
Yo, Brandy's a better actor than
Okay, so after that, right, we get the another hilarious scene where Soul and May are on the ship, and Soul has her trapped down like with straps on a table, and he's talking to her, but he gave her Pip. He left her Pip. Like, why would you do that? What, like, so of course she uses Pip to like escape, like, you know, and then jack him up too, so she can like run off and get in an escape pod and take off, right? Like, it's so contriving. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like seriously, it's so contriving. And like when Soul's chasing her in the spaceship, what's he even trying to accomplish? What's he gonna do? Like bump space bumper or something? Like, what's he gonna do? And then why the fuck did Basil sabotage his ship?
I still don't get that shit.
What did that accomplish?
This whole sequence is so contrived and confusing and clunky.
Like,
Yeah.
why did Basil do that? Why was that necessary? Like,
Because he was about to shoot her down for some reason, which also doesn't make sense.
I think he should have shot her down.
for
Like,
real.
but
She
you're
deserved,
right.
she deserved to get shot down.
What? Yeah, you're right though, Jeff. What was his plan? And he's trying to save her, and now he's like, "Well, I'm just gonna kill her." And Basil's like, "You can't kill her."
Was he gonna grab Voltron arms and like grab her or something? Like,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
anyways, but of course, what a shock. When May's ship goes down, she survives.
Another plane.
Another plane crash. How did she survive that one? I have no idea.
They have really good seatbelts.
She came down she came down like in circles on fire again, like in fire and space again. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Boeing could learn a thing or two from Star Wars.
Very true. Very true.
The door stayed on.
So she survives an accident that nobody else would have survived. None of us would have survived it, but she survives because I guess she's down with the Force or whatever. She's a Force baby now. So whatever. What do you guys think of that scene? I'll start with you. I'll go around and flip it around. I'll go to you this first, then Rod.
I need one of these pip droids. I love a thing that can go from a lockpick instantly to a stun gun, instantly to unlock the Starship escape pod. What a convenient! This thing is amazing. Where can I buy one of these? It does whatever you need to do when it needs to be done.
It's the MacGyver of
It is
droids.
absolutely the MacGyver. It is the Richard Dean Anderson of Star Wars droid.
And you can communicate with it somehow, understand it.
Yeah, it just goes
Yeah.
boop, 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 and you just know what it says. Sure, fine. No, we just went. That's confusing. Why? Well, what was he going to do? Why was he about to kill her when he's trying to save her? And then Basil just rips the things out. What is happening? And then, another space crash. They survived.
Why Basil? What are you accomplishing here, brother?
If you think about it, Basil is the only one who actually, I think, knows who survives, who knows what's happening now. Somebody needs to talk to that little rodent.
I know, for real, Basil knows all the dirt.
Yo, Vanestra needs to shut him up. I don't know.
Vanessa don't give a fuck. She's an elitist fucking bitch. Cyberneticshark, sir, what do you think? What about this powerful scene?
You know, this powerful scene was so powerful, it made me want to fall asleep. I mean, this whole scene, except for the visuals, was just it looked great. Yeah, but other than that, it just was so pointless. Just like everyone said about Basil, like, what the fuck is up with this Basil character? Like, why the hell did he do what he did? Now, to me, I didn't feel like he was trying to kill her. I thought he was just trying to chase her and capture her again.
It was in the targeting. The targeting thing was going do. And
well, yeah, he was doing that, but I thought he was gonna try to like grab her, not actually shoot at her. That's what I was thinking it was. But anyways, he could have been. He could have been going to shoot her. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was just pointless. And you know, so visually, yes, this whole sequence was really intriguing. The space travel, the ship looks really kind of cool. On the outside, the asteroid field that they're flying through and stuff like that. I have to give it at least that. But for the story wise, Soul chasing her escaping with Pip, and just like what everyone said, why the hell did he keep allowing her to have Pip so that she could escape after she reconfigured him in episode 6? And you're kind of like, what was the point of this? I mean, except for all of a sudden they hit each other and you're just kind of like, okay, that's interesting. But other than that, it was just kind of like, you were just kind of like, my mind is being fucked right now. Like, what the hell is this whole shit about? Like, are you trying to make us so confused that we utterly hate this garbage? Like, we already think the show is garbage to begin with. Are you trying to make us hate it even more? Is how I felt during the sequence, because I was just like laughing so hard, going, what the hell am I watching? And as soon as that Basil guy did what he did, and I was just like, you're supposed to be on Soul's side. What the hell are you doing? I'm like, are you smoking crack or something? Like, what the hell is wrong with this thing? But anyways, yeah, that whole wonderful scene is just utter garbage. Pretty much, I felt, except for the visuals. That's probably where that $100 million went, is into those visuals, because it definitely wasn't for the screenwriter or
Right.
or the actors, because, you know, like I said, Soul has really been the only good character in this entire series, and you know, he had at least those scenes where I thought were kind of interesting with him and him chasing her and stuff like that. I thought he still did a good job, but other than that, yeah, I just thought it was utter garbage.
Yeah, Soul's been okay. What do you think, Darth Leech? I'm sorry.
You know, I don't have the same love for Saul, but I did hear that the actor actually had to learn English in order to do this role, and that is extremely impressive.
Yeah,
because English is not a very easy language to learn. But I just I don't know. I wasn't blown away, put it that way. But as far as the scene is concerned, I think it was convoluted and nonsensical. You know, okay, so he's at the time he's one of the most powerful Jedi, and he's going to let this girl, like, you know, do some dumb shit to him, and he's like incapacitated, and he's chasing after her inside his own ship and can't do anything to close doors or even like force yank her back or whatever. And yeah, the whole thing with the asteroid, it's not an asteroid field, it's the rings of the planet.
Yeah.
So all the debris and all that shit, you know, yeah, it was cool to look at. And other than that, forget about it. And the crash landing was just ridiculous. You know, it's like, you know, if bad guys crash in the Star Wars universe, they're done. They're disintegrated. Good guys get into crashes. That's all good, man. We just kind of slid across the ground, and you know, we miraculously lived. You know, so yeah, it was bullshit. That whole scene.
Wrath of God.
I will say everyone here has discussed a lot, has explained a lot about why this whole, as you call it, amazing or exciting or intense moment of the show is honestly, like as Cyber said, sleepy, you know? But you know what? You know, this is the one thing I want to talk about, and it's regarding those like those rings around the planet. What's interesting is in previous Star Wars shows, okay, the rings would just be like gas. Like how the NASA scientists, they say, hey, the rings around Saturn, they're all gas. You know, same with the other planets with rings. And this is the first time you ever see an actual planet in the Star Wars universe where the rings are made of asteroids, which is very unique. So that is the only thing I will say about this scene.
Okay. So from there, Sir Raincoat shows up to see Vernestra from the Senate, right? And they have a little like deal or whatever, a little tiff. And then we see Soul running around on Brendock yelling for May with his English. And Osha hacks the doors to get into Lesbian Witch Base. So now she's up in there. And right after that point, you know, Cameo and Soul start saber fighting. So we start to get the Soul saber fight. the final battle. May and Osha fight. It's way too clean, the fighting like against each other. It just doesn't look natural to me. Like it looks too well done, almost too well choreographed. The fighting it should be more like, you know, clumsy on Osha's end. She shouldn't be so like, you know, like good at hand-to-hand combat. So I didn't really understand why they were like fighting to a stalemate and all that shit. After they had some dialogue together first, right? Of course. They see Vernestra's ship is there, right? And Soul cuts up Dark Soul's saber in the fight, and May jumps in and saves him. So I'll stop there. I'll go to you, Rathakan, and ask you, what are your thoughts on that passage of the episode?
Where do I begin other than, as you said, it's well choreographed, you know, and the whole time when I was watching, I'm like, Soul, just kill May. Please, for the love of God, just kill her already. But damn, they're so well choreographed, as you said, Jeff. And I will say, the fighting, hey, well done. You practice your martial arts. But still, when I'm watching this, I still feel like I'm doing math homework. Like, it doesn't do enough to save the show, let alone this episode, let alone everything we saw. So sometimes I'm just like, aren't you going to start off with like some dialogue, like how they usually do in these big boss battles, and then fight? Because it seemed like what I saw, it's like they just fight almost instantly. Very little dialogue. Like, I think you guys understand what I'm talking about.
No, why do you want more dialogue on the show? It's the worst.
Because it's intense.
Right.
It's intense, man. Like,
anytime somebody opens their mouth, everything just falls apart.
shoot, you have a good point. You have a good. Okay, I commend the show for doing less dialogue because, as you said, Imran, they suck with dialogue. They suck. Good thing they start with the fight, but it still sucks. That's all I'm going to say, Jeff. I mean, I could say more, but it might, affect banning YouTube stuff, so I'm not going to say it.
Okay. Right back to you, Jason Leach.
So along with the convolutedness, so Osha had gone away with the Jedi when she was 8 years old or however. They didn't explain why she didn't complete her training, and she's working on this like coal mining ship in the first episode. So that she doesn't have any like real connection to the Force. So all of a sudden she knows like this Matrix type kung fu. No. Like May should have kicked her ass in like a lickety split. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But more convoluted nonsense bullshit.
Okay. Cyberneticshark, sir.
All right. So yeah, I mean, this whole section of the episode, you're just kind of going, okay, just get over with. Because just like Leach has said, all the convolutedness, the writing once again is just so bad. And even with a little bit of a step up, in writing, as we've noticed a little bit towards the end of the series. Some people have mentioned that. I didn't, but I know that some have mentioned that they felt that the writing got a little better. I think even with that little bit of betterness, it still did not save it at all. And the fighting sequence with Darth Swall and Soul, and then of course May and Osha, it was just way too like laugh a minute retarded. Like it was so retarded. I was just like, what the hell is it? Like, just like Jeff was saying how it was too clean, the Osha and May fight, that shouldn't have been how it should have been. Like it totally was. I totally get what he's talking about, because when they were fighting and they were both like Matrix Kung Fu masters, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell is going on here? I'm like, this is not how that fight should be going. You mentioned in the past that Osha washed out of being a Jedi, so that means to me that she wouldn't be very good with the Force. at all, and she wouldn't be good with anything that has to come with being a Jedi. Whereas, as we saw May through, beginning episodes, taking out Jedi and stuff like that, she actually has some skill because she went and was apprentice of a Sith Lord. So she definitely had more training than Osha did. So just like everyone said, that fight should have been so unequal that how they played it out is not how it should have happened. Same thing with the Dark Soul and Soul fight. There was so many scenes that you could tell in the action itself that they were on wires. It just looked way too Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon-y for me. And I was cracking up going, what the hell did that jump just happen? I'm like, what the hell is this? I mean, even though I will have to give it the swordplay itself wasn't too bad. It wasn't extremely horrible. It wasn't the best at all, but it definitely was better than what we got, I feel, in that first sequence, back in episode, I think it was 4 or whatever, when Swole takes
5.
out or 5, sorry, takes out all the Jedi. I definitely think that their fighting together was a little better. I'm very minuscule, like a grain of rice, minuscule, better. But it definitely still was atrocious in the sense of any other Star Wars production. But overall, I think that this whole sequence, kind of like what Leach has said, it's very convoluted. The writing's horrible, and there's so many things that they are trying to stick into this episode to close out this story that just does not help it at all. Especially just, what Emron said before, how are they going to get all this information out into this one last episode? And this shows just how badly that was created, and that even though they shoved all this shit into one place, it did not help at all. So yeah, this section, once again, it was just a letdown. And once again, showing just, there should be those that create Star Wars and those who don't.
Okay, and now we also saw Dark Plagueis.
Yeah, this is the section with the Plaqueis.
Yeah, we saw Plagueis for like 2 seconds.
Did that do anything for anybody? I was kind of confused, and then when I found out who it was, I was like, really? It's a 2-second cameo.
He was just stalking into some cave or whatever and whatnot. What are you thinking, Rob? What are your thoughts?
So, okay, I just said the dialogue in the show overall is horrible. I did like this when Venestra is talking to the senator. I love that actor. It's David Harwood. He was Martian Manhunter on Supergirl. He's great. But the whole thing where he's like, the Jedi are unchecked power, posing as a religion, you're a delusional cult. What happens when one of you snaps? Like, that shit was great. It was actually like a decent conversation. Darth Plagueis is watching. Is he? And this is confusing because I was like, is he watching them? Do they know he's there? Does he want to kill them? Is he the Khmer's master? Does he know these girls on the side? I'm not sure. It was fan service thrown in for fan service. I actually love the lightsaber fights on this show. It's the only thing this show does well. Is, I think, for me, all the battle scenes, all the lightsaber. I love the wire work. I love the nod to the kung fu movies. So the Saul and Khmer battle, that was dope. He had the double. He split saber, and one of them was shorter, just like Japanese katanas, and he's throwing it, and it's badass. But May and Osha they knew the same exact moves makes no sense. I was like, how did she know how to counter all of these? What is happening? But the only thing this show has given me is decent lightsaber battles throughout. That's about it.
Okay. Any thoughts on the Dark Plagueis?
Yeah, did that do anything for anyone?
I was a little excited about it. I guess because I knew it was coming at some point, but I didn't know whether it was going to be Plagueis or Tabernus or whatever his name is.
The other guy.
Which I kind of have issues with the dating, where like this show is 128 years before Phantom Menace. So, and
it's okay, man.
That dude's an alien. He could be hundreds of years old. How do
you're very true, very true. but yeah, I was a little excited to see somebody from Legends show up on the show. I wasn't disappointed or what have you. I actually kind of liked it. Now, the fact that he was sitting there and spying, I'm assuming that what you call him, Darth Swall, is going off to find his apprentice so that he could turn around and kill his master. And now he's the lead Sith, and he's got his apprentice. So I don't know if that's a little foreshadowing, like Plaqueis knows what's going on, or whether Plaqueis set Darth Swall or Cameo
right on this journey
to do all this shit. So you don't know, and I guess we're gonna, I doubt they're gonna make a season 2, but I guess we're gonna have to wait till that.
No.
There's so much shit in this episode. Why wasn't this in the show earlier? I don't understand why it's in the last.
Because they want to reward those who actually fought through all the bad screenwriting.
I feel like they started at the end and then they just worked their bullshit
way backwards.
Like, what? Why would where wasn't this? Where was this early?
Okay.
Hey Jeff, one more thing. Let's just acknowledge this. 2 seconds of a dude who looks like a hobo in the cave just peeking out. It's like, dude, you make him look like crap, man. Like, you're disrespecting him. Like, he's a legend in Legends, and he's a nobody in canon. He's like one of those homeless people you see on the streets.
It's your first live action appearance. Like, that's huge.
He looks like
what a waste.
On this show. Yes, it's wild.
Yeah,
Such
bad
a
show. Looks like a homeless person. Like, how much more can you disrespect this legend, man?
All right. So Soul admits to killing the mother, like the lesbian witch mother. And when Osha hears that, she force chokes Soul to death. So Vernestra shows up, detects her former Padawan, Darth Swole, right? And May knows a way out. So her and Osha take off, right? Through that hole where she fell. And they go to the tree, some tree, and have some mushy scene or whatever. And then May gets her mind wiped by Darth Swole, right? And then Osha goes to take off with Darth Swole to be trained as a Sith because she turned Soul's Darksaber red, so she's obviously, evil now or whatever. And they leave May to be fucking arrested, but by Vernestra's people and whatnot. And of course, Vernestra's terrible actor, like Buddy, her Padawan or whatever, shows up to arrest him. To arrest her, and he's such a joke. Like, where'd they find this fucking guy?
Where'd they biggest nerd?
Where'd they find these actors and actresses? Where out of the scrap heap? Where do they find these motherfuckers?
Central casting.
And this is rough, bro. So Verneska asks to see May, ends up blaming Soul for everything. Says Soul killed himself, and he's the one that killed all the Jedi. He orchestrated all of it. Soul ended his own life. And then we see her go see Yoda at the end. And there you go. That is the Acolyte. Literally the Acolyte. The title of episode 8. And that is the end. So, go to you, Wrath of Khan. Your thoughts on that ending, sir?
The fact that Yoda knew everything that has happened. Okay, I just want to jump to first to that ending about Yoda. I'm just like, at first, I'm like, okay, Yoda, WTF, man. You let a bunch of Jedi die. You don't even care. You keep it a secret. This is exactly why the Senate wants to take away your lightsabers. This is exactly why the Senate wants to, like, impose more control, more oversight on the Jedi Temple. But at the same time, we also have to acknowledge that Yoda has kept secrets in the past, like the creation of the clones. Like, he knew about it because Obi-Wan told him, and he kept it a secret from everyone, from the rest of the Jedi Temple to the Senate, everyone. And he's kept other secrets too, even in the Clone Wars too, but I'm not going to ramble on about that. Now, going back to, like, seeing Osha be the one to kill Soul, I give the creators credit for surprising us with that. Even though the screenwriting's all terrible, right? But it's like, dude, we never expected Osha to be the one to kill Soul. And what's really messed up is we love this Soul guy. Okay, we all do, except for Darth Leech. But at least he has good sentiments for this guy.
Yeah.
And this this green other Jedi, the bald lady, whatever her name is, like, you're just gonna accuse Soul of killing all these other Jedi when it's actually Chimere? Like, dude, you're just doing his legacy dirty.
Mhm.
And if they don't make an Acolyte season 2, like, we could just assume that his legacy, Soul's legacy, is like messed up, dirty.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, it's very messed up. You know, it's like you do our favorite character very dirty, man. Like, come on. Like the Jedi, they wonder why big karma comes to them later on. I don't know if that's what the creators want us to feel like, or I don't even know. But I did like that Soul, like, you know, confess, like, hey, I was the one who killed your mother. And I mean, everything's rational at the end of the day. Like the way how Osha reacted, all that anger, like, that's actually rational. Like, you could say it's irrational and stuff. I'm like, what else do you expect her to behave if she learned that Soul admitted to murdering the mother? Like, that's what May's been saying the whole time. And yeah, but okay, final thing before we move on. The bleeding the crystals, just know that in the Ahsoka novel, it was actually revealed that once Ahsoka took the Inquisitor's lightsabers, the lightsaber crystal went from red to white. So it really does feed on the energy, but it's usually on like special cases, basically. So this is probably like the second time we've seen this in canon. So I don't know, they're still working out the kinks with this concept, but I totally understand if you guys are going to roast the entire thing. Case closed.
Jason Leach.
That's the one thing that I wanted to mention was about the saber. Usually the kyber crystals that Sith use are cracked, and that was kind of how they got the different color. But I did like the fact that, like, her anger and hatred, you know, helped facilitate that. You know, kind of a too little, too late situation there, but it was kind of cool. And what's the other? Oh, so back to what the kyber crystals being cracked. So Saul pretty much created that because he, I forget if he, I think he took, what's her name, saber. No, it was Saul's saber that got flung over and cracked against a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it even showed you that it chipped the kyber crystal if you were
Yeah.
if you were looking for it everywhere. So that was kind of cool
Bless
for
you.
the lore and everything. Yeah, God bless you. But yeah, I just think that everything that Star Wars has done lately is shown how flawed the Jedi really are. And I think if they keep going on this route, it's really gonna, like, taint the Skywalker saga. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see how it adds to the Jedi lore to say, you know, hey, dude, they just keep fucking up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts.
Leech,
Yes.
remember that quote that May's mother said, like, all your good intentions, something like that, will, like,
your downfall. Will be the downfall.
that's literally why the creators made the Jedi, you know, annoying, to
Okay.
put it kindly, because they want to, like, emphasize that quote.
Okay.
Okay. Cyberneticshark, sir.
So the conclusion, just like the rest of the episode, is what's another term? Bullshit. And it's the most stupidest thing I've ever seen. I literally watching it was just sitting there going, why am I watching this still? What the hell is this stupidity? So a lot of you realize, I've mentioned this several times, that, you know, watching a TV show, a movie, is about escape for us. It's about entertainment value. This is not entertainment, making the Jedi out to be so evil. And just like the Leech just said, you know, it really is going to start to taint the Skywalker, you know, saga. Because the Skywalker saga, you know, since the, you know, very first film, A New Hope, you know, leading up to through the prequels and then the sequels, you know, they all have been a very interesting, story, and they were at least, most of them were decently written. And you can't really, say anything's better than the original trilogy. The original trilogy will always be the best, for most people, because they were the originals. And so with what they've done with this show, and trying to give us 2 seconds of Plaqueis, which to me, not even worth showing. Oh, he peeked around a corner. Oh, yeah, that's totally worth it. I mean, that was just completely pointless. Just like with showing a backside of Yoda at the very end, it literally was pointless. Because you watch it, you're thinking, oh, you're gonna have a little bit of a scene with these characters. No, literally blinks of an eye is what these 2 characters were shown. And you're like, well, this is just utter stupidity. Like, literally, you're trying to taint some characters that were so well done in other books, other movies, TV shows, whatever, whatever you've watched or read or you've seen of, any type of Star Wars, storytelling. And, they try to add it to this trash because they know it's trash, because they're trying to think, oh, if we have these little bit here, it will draw the people in. And that did work to keep people wanting to watch this piece of shit. So, that whole thought process, I get it, but at the same time, I think it was completely, utterly pointless to have those 2 characters in this final episode. And the whole OSHA May thing being one, it was seen coming since their conception, because they kept talking, kind of pointing in that direction. Oh, they're both the same people. And I've seen that people saying, oh, and wrote in and stuff saying, oh, May and OSHA are the same person, and they're split to 2. They're not really twins. They're split in 2 because of, the witch's powers and, how they were conceived and stuff like that, or created. Really, they weren't conceived. They were created through some sort of black magic from the witches. And, it just was the most stupidest thing, because, like, what was the point of splitting them in 2, having, one be dark, one be light, but then switched right at the end? Like,
Yeah.
literally, you're saying that they were the same person the whole fucking time, and they were both half good, half bad, is basically all you were saying this whole damn time. So I thought that, as Leach has mentioned, very contrived, really bad writing. And, like I said, the whole series visually has been the best part of this series. There was a lot of great visuals, with the spaceships, with the planets and stuff like that. That was the best part of the series completely. That went down to the T. That was probably the only thing that kept me wanting to watch, is because I got to see this great CGI that they actually put in. Now, it's not always been the best CGI in every episode, but for the most part, it's been decent looking. So we know where some of that 100 million went to. But overall, the conclusion of the film or series or of this season just was completely stupid. The whole talking with the bald green lady and May, I thought was completely pointless. Didn't do anything. It literally just made you even more confused. And her kept acting like, I don't remember anything. I don't know this. I don't know that. And you're kind of like, you do know what happened, and you're lying, Missy. And so what was the point of that? Like, why are you lying about this and not just tell the truth? Because you said yourself, I just want you to admit it, Soul. I want you to admit that you killed our mother. And it was kind of stupid. I'm like, you did all that just so that Soul would confess, but yet you allowed him to die? Like, it just seemed completely retarded and pointless. And then him being choked out by OSHA was freaking hilarious. That just was fucking stupid too. Like, we just mentioned how this girl couldn't fight a fly if her life depending on it, and you're telling me she's gonna be able to do a force choke like Darth Vader and kill his soul. And that just was it for me too. When they killed Soul, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You tell me the best character in this series you just killed off in the very final episode. Oh my God, what a stupid decision. Once again, we can't emphasize enough. Leave Star Wars to those who know Star Wars, and those who don't know Star Wars, stay the fuck out.
Yeah.
Especially lesbos that are just trying to wreck it. I'm sorry, but that's what this was, 100%. And final thoughts. The scene that was mentioned with Martian Manhunter from Supergirl, that whole scene I felt was completely like a reference to the political times that we're going through.
Mm-hmm.
That felt so much like it was like a reference to what was going on. And I crack up at that because I'm just like, oh, that's not that's so obvious. And I was just like cracking up going, oh God, you really had to throw this in, especially the last episode. You had all the other episodes you could have thrown something in, but you decided to do it the very last episode, making the last episode even the worst. So, overall, full of crap, bullshit, dumbass episode. That's my final thoughts.
All right, Imran.
I'll just say, look, bleeding the crystal and the lightsaber turning blue to red. That was kind of cool. I'd never seen that. I never showed us that before. And the little detail, it was cracked. She was touching the crystal. Kind of makes sense. Overall, I don't understand what the point of the show was. Like, I did like Saul in the beginning, but they consistently made him seem very incompetent. Going back to the incident, the exact incident that caused all this, he like brashedly accidentally kills a black woman. Like, that's what happens. He's like a cop that had a traffic stop and used unnecessary lethal force for no. But here's the other thing. May saw all this happen. Yeah, the lady started disappearing. What did she think was going to happen? The whole thing is confusing. And Osha forced choking Saul when he's like, did you kill my mother? He said yes. But why didn't he say yes? But in my defense, she was turning into some kind of demon. You guys saw it. Come on. So the whole misunderstanding, and he thought that was Osha. It makes no sense. When she's forced choking him out, dude, she's forced choking this dude out. She has no expression on her face. She looks bored, and I'm like, come on, you're not even trying. You are force choking a motherfucker. You look like you're not doing anything. So it was a little frustrating. But yeah. Oh, and then here's the other thing. Why couldn't all three of them just leave? Why?
For real.
Why?
They had a ship.
They had a ship. Why did she suddenly switch? I mean, they got him wearing the black and the white. They're foreshadowing it. And why is Osha? Because Cameo offers to train her and she refuses several times. And then finally she's like, look, let my sister go and I'll train. Why can't you all just jump on a thing and get the hell out of it? Doesn't make any sense. And yeah,
Imran, you make a lot of sense. Keep going. Keep cooking.
And then just Yoda at the end. Like, again, they're trying to throw in this fan service with some Band-Aid. It's not going to fix anything. There's all these questions. And just, them looking off into the sky. It's kind of funny and just interesting shot. Yes, and they like, at least the one interesting thing was Vanestra with the scar on the back and her backstory, and they don't even give you any of that. I thought they were gonna give you a little bit of that. We've seen the scar, we've seen her whip. Also, she could have used the whip a little bit more. She used it for like 2 seconds. That thing's really cool.
Swap bugs.
Yeah, just to kill a moth. She essentially used it as a fly swatter.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. This is a laser lightsaber whip. I want to see more of this. I will say the show, like, Kalnaka, like when he finally got to do some cool shit, I got a Jedi Wookiee. That's all I got out of this whole show.
Right.
I got a Jedi Wookiee. But overall, the visuals are great. The sets. Why does that planet look like they shot it at the garden center at the Home Depot? What is happening? Where's this money? It's just and to waste 2 whole episodes on the same story over again.
Yeah.
Just overall, the pacing, the way they split it up, the structure, the whole thing, just horrible execution. There are a few like interesting ideas that's actually in here, but the execution is so bad that you need new writers, new directors. I don't know.
It's done. It's over.
It's cooked.
Let's rate
Working it.
let's rate this turkey and do plugs and get out of here so we can be done with this tainted series. Go ahead, Leech.
Jeff, just a couple of things I wanted to cover real quick. Shit, let me get my glasses. I wrote stuff down. Oh, they had a major missed opportunity. They had a chance to give this episode some balls and get people to go, oh shit, I can't believe the Star Wars went there, right? When what's his face? Darth Swole was saying that he was going to wipe the girl's memory.
Yeah.
And then she goes, no, let me do it. And then he hands her the lightsaber. He says, you know what needs to be done. So she goes over there. She's crying. She's giving her sister a hug. It was so emotional. And I was just waiting for that lightsaber to activate and kill the girl. To kill her sister. And I was like, I audibly went, holy shit. Like, this is where they're going to go. And this is going to be awesome. And then she goes, we're 1 and 2. We once 2 and now we're 1. And I'll always find you. And then still, when she says, let me do it, he still ended up doing it. What he wanted, but I think they really missed an opportunity with her killing her sister. Man. Also, the green bitch. Is this the one that Captain Kirk fucked back in the 60s, 70s?
Yeah.
I was just curious. And this is going to sound like I'm being like a total Star Wars nerd, which I am. Okay, but when they showed the back of Yoda's head, I got the vibe that it was an episode 5 and 6 version of Yoda, as opposed to the episode 1 version. Like, he had more hair, it was grayer. It wasn't that, it was back to the puppet type look as opposed to that CGI look that they had in episode 1. But I thought that was a little weird, but that's just me being a nerd.
Well, no, you're totally right, Leach. You're totally right.
All right.
He would have been like 800 years old, right? At this point.
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
But wouldn't he have sensed all these Jedi dying and all this crazy shit happening?
Come on, he knows everything. He just keeps it a secret.
What the fuck was Yoda? Or if you didn't know, I don't understand. And then when Banestra shows up, he should be like, "What the fuck is happening?" Why?
No, he knows about the whole time. That's what I said, Imran. Like he knows everything. She literally reports to him.
It's ridiculous. I don't get it.
All right, ratings. Cyber, you start.
All right. So this heaping pile of turd episode, I give 1.
Wow.
2.
Okay.
1.
Imran.
We're doing just this episode or the whole season?
Just this episode.
Well, just this episode. Yeah, it's gonna be like a 4. 4.
Okay, a 4. Rathacon.
1, 2. Dude, this is like the worst ever season finale. Worst ever. Like
time travel, sir?
Are you with Andres? Habibi, a season finale deserves more praise.
Is this a 1 or a 2?
2.
Okay, Leech.
In comparison to the rest of the series, I'm actually going to give it about a 5 because it was probably the best episode of the series. But that's not saying much. I mean, every other, I would give the highest a 3 of any of the other episodes, and that's the highest. I'm being generous there. So I did like this episode, the Jedi fighting as far as the lightsaber and choreography. I did kind of get like the whole Saul jumping backwards off a balcony and he kind of lands gracefully and slides back. I was like, all right, whatever. We'll let that one pass. But the rest of the shit was good.
All right. Okay. And I'm going to drop a 4 on the finale. So, guys, let's plug out of here and have an early show.
Sounds good.
I'll start with you, Mr. Jason Leach, and DJB Productions Network. I don't know what I haven't talked to DJ in a while, so I don't know what he's been doing lately.
Yeah, he's unfortunately he's got some health issues, so he's been laying low for a while. And
I'll reach out. I'll reach out to him then.
Yeah, he's he would appreciate that. But yeah, we still have some old shows on the DJB Productions site on YouTube, and hopefully we'll be having new content. There are a couple of us that are going to do some episodes without Danny J while he heals, and yeah, I'll keep you in the loop. I'll let you know what's going on.
Okay, excellent. And I'm on that. Cape's not included right there. I'm there.
Sweet.
There you go. So there's me. All right. Mr. Jock and Nerd. Let me pull you up.
Yes.
What's going on over at Jock and Nerd?
Well, look, if you listen to podcasts, just search Jock and Nerd Podcast. We're in every podcast app and on YouTube. We just reviewed also the finale of The Acolyte, along with the finale of The Boys, along with, you know what's a better Star Wars show than The Acolyte? Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai Season 6, Part 1. It is straight melodrama, karate, soap opera cheese, and I love it. It's fantastic. And they do Star Wars better. It increases like Vader turning to the dark side, people flipping motivations, but it just works better because it's Cobra Kai, and you kind of expect it. We also reviewed that movie Kill a week ago. It's an awesome Indian action flick that was out. It was really cool, very violent and bloody. But subscribe, because next week we'll be doing San Diego Comic-Con announcements, and of course Deadpool and Wolverine, which is all I can think about now that I'm done thinking about The Acolyte.
How about that?
I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
There you go. All right, Cyberneticshark, sir.
Well, as always, folks, if you enjoy me here on the wonderful MCU'S Bleeding Edge, you can check out my solo content. You can find me under Cyberneticshark. You can find me YouTube, TikTok, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, pretty much anywhere there is a social media platform, I am there. You can see there my most recent review is A Quiet Place Day 1. If you haven't seen that, check that out. Also, I put up my trailer reaction to Long Legs, which I'll be having my review of the movie itself up soon.
Very decent movie.
And it'll be interesting, just my thoughts on it after seeing it. Nicolas Cage, of course, is always fantastic. He's always great in pretty much anything I've ever seen him in. And the movie itself, though, it's an interesting take. Osgood Perkins, if you like Osgood Perkins, the son of the late great Anthony Perkins, you definitely will like that.
Oh, he directed it?
Yes.
The sequel should be called Short Arms. Can we get that done?
And you'll be seeing more. I actually have a trailer reaction going live at 11 p.m. tonight. If you haven't checked that out, it's for the upcoming film Flight Risk. That's Mel Gibson's first directed film in quite a while. And definitely check out that. It stars Mark Wahlberg, Topher Grace, and it looks pretty good. So that trailer reaction will be up shortly. I saw Twisters this past weekend too. Be having a review of that up soon for you guys. That's was a really great blockbuster film. If you saw the original Twister back in '96, Twisters is a great film for you to check out in theaters, especially. Great graphics for its time. But yeah, just keep on tracking, keep on watching, people. We'll be having more stuff up for you guys soon, and looking forward to continuing the YouTube land world. Yeah, keep watching the MCU'S Bleeding Edge, people. Oh, I'm excited for Deadpool and Wolverine 2. I'll be seeing it twice this weekend.
Me too. I think it's for Thursday and Sunday.
Oh, yo, by the way, in Formula One, they're even going to put the Deadpool skin on the cars for this weekend's race.
Game.
Lord of the Rings 2 Towers on Friday, folks. 9:35 p.m. Eastern, 6:35 p.m. Pacific. We love everybody out there. We will see you on Friday. We'll see you next Monday for House of the Dragon, episode 7. With Andres the Pop Culture Guy back from vacation. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Cyber on the mic, moderating like a boss. Keeping it steady, ain't never getting lost. Bleeding edge. gravel and hit the floor.